Negotiable Instruments Act and paying banks. As stated in Part 6.1 of this unit, the customer who has deposited money with the bank, being a creditor, has the right to ask back the money from the banker who is a debtor. The duty on the part of the banker to pay has been laid down in Section 31 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 in the following terms: the drawee of a check having sufficient funds of drawer in his hands properly applicable to the payment of such checks must pay the check when duly required to do so, and in default of such payment must compensate the drawer for any loss or damage caused by such default. The following points are important to note. Section 31 applies only to bankers. This is because, as per Section 6 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, check has been defined as a bill of exchange drawn on a specified banker, not expressed to payable otherwise than on demand. Second, sufficient funds. The banker should have sufficient funds of the drawer. That is, there should be sufficient credit balance in customer's account. Third, properly available. The funds available in the customer's account should also be properly available for the payment of the check. The funds may not be available to pay the check if A. The banker has exercised his right of set off for amount due from the customer. B. There is an order passed by a court, competent authority or other lawful authority restraining the bank from making payment. Fourth, when duly required to do so, the banker is duty bound to pay check only when he is duly required to do so. It means that the check must be properly drawn and signed by the drawer. Fifth, compensate the drawer. In case the banker refuses payment wrongfully, then he is liable only to the drawer of the check and not to any endorsee or holder, except when A. The bank is wound up, in which case the holder becomes a creditor entitled to make a claim. B. The banker pays a check disregarding the crossing, wherein the true owner can hold the banker liable. Sixth, loss or damage caused by default. A banker is liable to drawer for any loss or damage, which may have occurred to the drawer due to the wrongful dishonor of the customer's check. Protection to paying bankers. For paying bankers to claim protection under the Negotiable Instruments Act, one of the criteria he has to satisfy is that the payment is in due course. As to what is payment in due course has been stated in Section 10, which reads as follows. Payment in due course. Payment in due course means payment in accordance with the apparent tenor of the instrument, in good faith and without negligence to any person in possession thereof under the circumstances, which does not afford a reasonable ground for believing that he is not entitled to receive payment of amount therein mentioned. From the above definition, it can be seen that the payment in due course requires the payment to be made a. In accordance with the apparent tenor of the instrument, b. in good faith, c. without negligence, d. to the person in possession of the instrument, and e. while making payment, the banker should not have reasons to believe that the person in possession of the instrument is not entitled to receive payment of amount mentioned in instrument. Section 85 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 grants protection to a banker on his making payment of a check. Though this principle may sound as simple logic, it is to be noted that protection granted as per Section 85 is not absolute. Section 85 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 can be explained as follows. Where a check payable to order purports to be endorsed by or on behalf of the payee, the drawee is discharged by payment in due course. Second, where a check is originally expressed to be payable to bearer, the drawee is discharged by payment in due course to the bearer thereof, notwithstanding any endorsement, whether in full or in blank, appearing thereon, and notwithstanding that any such endorsement purports to restrict or exclude further negotiation. Section 89 of the Negotiable Instrument Act states that the effect of making payment on instrument on which alteration is not apparent, and reads as follows. Section 89. Payment of instrument on which alteration is not apparent, where a promissory note, bill of exchange, or a check has been materially altered but does not appear to have been so altered, or where a check is presented for payment which does not at the time of presentation appears to be crossed, or to have had a crossing which has been obliterated, payment thereof by a person or banker liable to pay, and paying the sum according to the apparent tenor thereof at the time of payment, and otherwise in due course, shall discharge such person or banker from all liability thereon, and such payment shall not be questioned by reason of the instrument having been altered or the check crossed.